Matchups. 14 different matchups I got on my pad here. I'm Randy Rosenbaum along with SB Live's Tarek Fatal. Tarek, this will be fun today. We're going to get to meet some of the coaches and players.
We haven't gotten to eat yet, but we are at the CIF Southern Section Luncheon, having a little fun today.
I didn't know you had that good arm.
Underhand, it's not bad.
All right. The first game we need to talk about is the D1 game. Don't even need to look down on the pad. Every year, it's Mater Dei, 11-1, St. John Bosco, 11-1. During the year, during the Trinity League season, the Braves prevailed 28-0. That surprised a lot of people, Tarek.
It did. And I tell you what, I was there, and I was so surprised to see St. John Bosco kind of continue to layer it on. People think 28-0, that's a blowout, that's a boring game, but I think we were all watching it unfold with our own two eyes. What could happen next, and maybe does Mater Dei have enough firepower to come back? It didn't happen to be the case. It sets up for a compelling final.
And we're going to talk to both coaches on this show, Coach Negro and Coach McManus from the respective teams. All right, in Division 2, Servite, another Trinity League team, at large, gets in the playoffs, has some great wins, especially the one against Long Beach Poly on the way, knocked off a nice Seraph Gardena squad as well, against another power in Mission Viejo, who probably is the favorite in this game.
I would say they might have the edge just because of the season they've had. However, you mentioned it earlier in today's interviews. Division 2 is the toughest division of every division in the Southern Section. Kudos to both teams for getting through the gauntlet.
All right, the next division I want to look at here, the Warren Bears. The Bears 11-2 this season at St. Bonaventure, who's 10-3. Of course, St. Bonaventure, a premier program in Ventura County.
Yes, Joey Ganetti does a great job, St. Bonaventure coach. And they're up against a good Warren team. Kevin Pearson, the coach, does a really good job. That's an absolute toss-up. Warren got in, 2-point conversion in overtime to beat Chaminade. A little controversy there, but neither here nor there. We got Warren and St. Bonaventure in the
Madden
final.
Iamaleava,
That's
the
right.
fine quarterback
That's right.
of Warren High School. Division 4 CDM, that's Corona Del Mar. The Sea Kings are 8-5, playing at Lucerna. Don't know a lot about Lucerna. I know this. They win all the time.
Yeah, well, they played a really tough schedule. So they, playing these really high-level teams, now they're in Division 4. There's nothing they haven't seen before. They might be the team to beat in that game. Division
5 has Orange Vista. Orange Vista's at Newberry Park. That's a club we're very familiar with. Both the Panthers and Orange Vista are 10-3. Brady Smigel, the brilliant quarterback who's here today at the luncheon, 50 touchdown passes in his sophomore year.
I think he's close to either 100 or over 102 seasons. I'll tell you right now, I know you're not supposed to bet on high school football, but whatever the over-under is for that game, over. There's going to be 100 points combined in that game.
And what have I said about Newberry Park all year? To me, the most entertaining team in Southern California. They just light it up. They don't always win, but they do play a high-scoring game.
They just score all kinds of points.
Yeah, and of course Rosenthal, their wide receiver. Yeah. Tremendous year for the Panthers. All right, D6 Simi Valley. We're going to meet their head coach Jim Bankert on our program today. They're 8-5 at Maricosta. Maricosta's 6-7, but very talented. Maricosta's seeking its 4th CIF crown.
Maricosta, I believe, started 0-6, 0-7 on the year, and then kind of grew up towards the end, and here they are. You got to be playing your best ball at the right time.
And Simi Valley's doing that. Jim Bankert teams always are high-powered offensively. They'll score some points, but this will be a test on the road at Maricosta. D7 Mayfair. The Monsoons, 10-3. Fortunately, they're probably not going to play in monsoon weather. It's going to be a lovely day. At El Dorado, who's 8-5, the Golden Hawks are talented.
I think from Division 7 down, you get teams, not necessarily teams you've never heard of, but different stories, different programs, different coaches, and a lot of these programs are in CIF titles for the first time in program history.
D8 has Charter Oak and Harupa Hills. Both these teams throw the football a lot.
Charter Oak had a 2-8 season, and they get into the playoffs, and they're rolling through now.
They really are. How about Rio Hondo Prep? I know you got a lot to say about them. They're 12-1 in D9 at Santa Monica. I've seen the quarterback at Santa Monica, Wyatt Brown. He can sling it.
Rio Hondo Prep's this really small school. They actually had to postpone their basketball season because all the football players are on the football team, and they got to wait for football season to end before they can play any basketball. Fun little story.
I know you're not happy about that because Tarek loves hoops, and you're not thrilled that they're not playing basketball.
For that reason, I got nothing but love for it. The school's so small, they got to share athletes. They can't even get basketball season started because all the kids are on the football team.
How about Division 10? Torrance, 9-4 at West Covina. West Covina is 11-2. West Covina back-to-back titles back in 2010 and one in 2011, looking for another one.
Hey, why not, right?
Why not? Yeah. So you don't have a favorite pick there, the Torrance
no
and
pick
Wesco
on that
game.
one.
How about the Ramona Rams? They're 8-5 in Division 11. Riverside Poly 7-6. Poly seeking its 4th championship.
Hey, I think anytime you get into these CIF finals, you got to stick to what you know, stick to the foundational things that you're confident in, and maybe you can bring home a little hardware.
And when I think of Riverside Poly, I don't think of football per se, although it's been a strong program. I think of basketball. Reggie Miller, sister Cheryl Miller, came out of that program, Poly High School in Riverside. In fact, Cheryl Miller one time scored 105 points in a high school game. But I'm getting off track a little bit. But congratulations to both Ramona and Riverside Poly in D11. D12, there's a little bit of a story, a little history for me here. Yucca Valley 10-3, at Cerritos 8-5. And when I started a long time ago, one of the first programs I ever covered were the Yucca Valley Trojans. So I'm kind of partial toward the Trojans.
I think we know we know who you're rooting for in that game.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell us the year you were calling those games?
Yeah, I can. I will tell you the year because I got an audition tape, and obviously in broadcasting you do some work, you do some audition work, and you send tapes out. That was 1982.
Wow.
And I got an audition tape, and the following year I got hired to do UNLV football. So
it worked out.
It worked out off the tape. Off a Yucca Valley football tape, I got hired to be the voice of the Rebels, but nobody cares. All right, Division 13, St. Monica Prep at Walnut. St. Monica has the better record, 10-3. Walnut is 7-6.
Walnut's a team that I think is going to have a really, really tough time in that game, but we'll see how the finals go. That's the thing. They're toss-ups, right? We don't know, and anything can happen in a final.
How about D14 Linwood, who's back again? They lost in a championship game last year. They're 8-5 at Bell Gardens. The Lancers are also 8-5.
Linwood gets a little redemption, right? Anytime you can get a second chance, you want to harness that opportunity. Maybe you can do some good with it.
Let's go back to the D1 game because we have to talk about that a little bit more. Mater Dei, St. John Bosco. People probably saying, who do you think's going to win? I don't know who's going to win. Certainly over the years, the team that's lost the first game has come back and won the second. Not a guarantee here.
Not a guarantee. I just don't know if a 28-point gap, something about that score and the way it happened. It's not like Mater Dei got down inside the 5 3 times and fumbled and the game could have been different. No. St. John Bosco dominated the game up front. Their defense was all over Elijah Brown, the quarterback for Mater Dei. They were scrambling. I just wonder, they'd have to change a lot of things to make that score different in the final. I think I like the Braves at the Coliseum.
But it's not going to be 28-0.
I do not think it will be 28-0.
No, I think the Monarchs will put some points up. It's going to be a very entertaining game. Sit back and enjoy the show. It's going to be a good one. Interviews are next. 14 years of excellence for Jason Negro at St. John Bosco, building a national powerhouse. Thrilled to be playing Mater Dei in the finals of the Southern Section. Coach, it's never easy to get our first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it's never easy, but we're certainly blessed to have the opportunity to play in this game once again.
What makes this team special?
The people. I think from the coaching staff to our trainers to our families to most importantly the players, we built a pretty cool culture at St. John Bosco, something I'm really proud of. The brotherhood of being an all-boys school is something special, and the Salesian education is just a great way to be able to help young men get developed, and we're just using the platform of football to be able to do that.
Mater Dei again. You knock them off during the regular season. You were the perceived underdog and beat them 28-0. But we all know that second time around is never easy.
Yeah, I think it's challenging, but good thing for us, we're still the underdog. If you look at the Cal Preps rankings, I think we're a 10 or 12-point underdog, which is fine with us. We don't have a problem with that. And the first game that we played them was so long ago, it feels like, that I think it's going to be a new event. And that's how we're going to treat it. I know our kids are going to go into this game with short-term memories, and we're not going to think about the last one. We're going to worry about this one and see what happens after 48 minutes.
Last question from me, and then Tarek will get to your outstanding player. You say you're still building the program. Everyone looks at you as the program along with Mater Dei.
Well, I think, for us, St. John Bosco, we want to set a particular standard, and we're not quite satisfied with what we've been able to accomplish thus far. We've had a great resume up to this point, but after 14 years, let's see what happens after the next 14. I think our best days are ahead of us, and we're only scratching the surface how good this program is going to be.
Good to know that Jason Negro is going to be around another 14 years at St. John Bosco. Tarek, take it away.
Marcellus Williams here, the senior from St. John Bosco. Before we get to the final, you're a 4-year player in the program. What to you sticks out the most about Braves football?
I mean, it has to be the brotherhood there. Like, I built a bond with everybody there. I love the coaches, the players, like they're all my family. And I just love all of them. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Do you think like that element is what may have helped the difference in that Corona Centennial semifinal game? Can you talk about that game a little bit? And other than the 1-point difference, what do you think was the difference on the field to get you that victory?
I mean, I think it's just different when you just trust your guys around you, because, I mean, we're all brothers, we're all family. So when you're able to just trust the person you have to the left or the right of you, I think that plays a big part.
Coach alluded to it a little bit. It seems like that modern-day victory was a long time ago. Do you feel that way, and how do you approach the championship?
I mean, it's just another game, I would say. I mean, it's the biggest game of my career. I mean, because it's the next one I have. So I'm just going to be there, give it my all. And, I mean, whoever makes the least amount of mistakes should come out victorious. So
it'll be played at the LA Coliseum, Randy. It'll be a great, great game.
It should be showcased at the LA Coliseum. The Braves and the Monarchs. Every year, be another great game in the finals. This will be fun. An old friend, I should say really, he's not an old friend, he's a young friend. It's Jim Bankert. He's been around for years, did a great job at Westlake and Oaks Christian. He's won CIF titles, he's got 5 to be exact, and Jim joins us now as the head coach of the Pioneers. They have to travel to Maricosta in the Division 6 title game. Congratulations, Jim.
Thank you, Randy. And I'll tell you, you don't remember this, but way, way back when I was at Crespi, we did a little show with you and Eric Sonheimer in Chatsworth, and that's when I first met you. And that must have been 40 years ago.
And you're still talking to me. I think that's really nice. All right, give us a little capsule review of what this team is all about, this edition of the Pioneers, and why you're here.
Well, this is a resilient group. I don't think anyone expected us to be where we are right now. We're a young football team. We're an inexperienced football team, but we grew up fast. Our schedule was a great one and allowed us to really get better week to week. And now I think we're playing our best football.
It is a young club, but you've been around a long time. So how can a veteran coach spearhead a youthful group going into a championship game? How can you get them prepared?
Well, it's we work hard. I mean, we work hard in practice. We set the bar high, and we expect them to come out and work hard and get to where we want them to be day to day. And there's no rest for the weary. I mean, it's football, and it's a tough sport for tough guys. And I'm not talking about the game. It's preparation. It's meetings. It's weight room. It's the things that we've been doing from the first day of spring and all the way till now. And we've always talked about getting to the title game, and I'm so proud of them, for getting here. You're the analyst. What do you need to do? What does Simi Valley have to do to knock off Maricosta? Well, they're an excellent football team. They're well coached, and they're kind of like us. It's like looking in a mirror. They had their early season where they had to mature and get better, and then in the latter part of the season they did a great job, and 3 wins and knocking off the number 1 seed. So I think looking at them, I mean, we have got to limit their throw game. I mean, they throw the ball very well, and they're really tough on defense. We've got to figure out a way to crack their defense, and they're going to play hard like we are. It's a title game, so it's going to be 2 teams matched up, and here we go. Tarek, I know you have one of the stars of the Pioneers.
Senior wide receiver Dominic DeMeo. Look, I don't know if you know this, Dominic, but Simi Valley football hasn't really had like a huge tradition of winning. Coach Jim Bankert shows up, things have started to roll. My question for you is, what has been the biggest difference in your time at Simi Valley in regard to football spirit, team camaraderie, things of that nature?
First, I would say is definitely the work that we put in. Like Coach Bankert says, we're one of the hardest working teams out there, and I truly believe that. We come in, we get our stuff done. Everybody's there, and we're all there for one goal. We're working towards that CIF championship, and we're here now, and honestly, I think we're ready. I think we have put in the time, we have put in the effort, and our work ethic is there, and that's been the staple through all 4 years, is just to work. That's pretty much it.
The Marmoni League is very tough, but maybe it's prepared you for these playoffs. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. Our level of competition in the Marmoni League, we have some great teams that we go against. Some teams we see here now, and I think that we definitely got battle tested throughout the season, and we had some tough games. We battled through it. I think we did a great job of preparing and doing our best in those games and making sure we're fighting through.
Well, like you said, you've earned your chance here at the CIF Championship. We're at the Luncheon. Enjoy a little food today. But, Randy, they got to get this thing done on Friday.
Yeah, it won't be easy, though, against Maricosa. You know, I always think about Simi Valley with the great basketball teams, way back with Don McLean, the baseball teams with national prominence. But Jim Bankert has brought the football team in 6 years to local prominence, and we'll see how they do against the Mustangs. Not a surprise, Mater Dei in the championship yet again. New coach, though, and Frank McManus. He's done a terrific job. He's got the Monarchs at 11-1. He joins us now. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations getting here. It's never easy to get to the championships, but the road to the final had one bump in the road, and you get to potentially turn that around against St. John Bosco.
Yeah, I think it's been like that for, the last 7-8 years now, so this is kind of a common theme. We see each other twice a year, once during the regular season and once in the finals. It's always an opportunity for both of us to right a wrong from our perspective. So yeah, we always look forward to this being in this game. I actually had the same discussion with my coaches yesterday at our staff meeting about even though it feels like we're always here, these are opportunities that we don't want to take advantage of or take for granted. So it's, again, a great opportunity for both the coaching staff, the players, and myself to go out and win a CIF championship.
When I saw you and met you for the first time in the middle of the year, you said you just want to improve one play at a time.
Yeah.
One quarter at a time. So now it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
How have you improved?
Yeah, I think overall, offensively, we've progressed play at a time, concept at a time. They've done a really good job, the offensive staff, of coming together. We've really done a good job of managing the players in and out on the offensive side. Had some little nicks and injuries as we've gone through the season, and what it's done is it's provided opportunity for other players. So they've really developed well. Same thing with the special teams. They've done a great job. Coach McKnight came on in July. So, we didn't really get a full start into special teams until summer in July. So the reality is as we are now getting into the CIF finals, the special team should be starting to peak at this point. And then defensively, with the return of Coach Johnson, myself, we've got a lot of great players returning, like Jelani next to me. That was the one consistent that we've had all season. And you kind of saw that from the start of the season all the way up to this now. They've been kind of the cornerstone of the team. It has been the defense, and you've seen the offense and special teams kind of progressing all the way through the season. So I'm hopeful, and I feel like we're in a good position that the entire team's about to peak. And like I said, I think it's the right time for these boys to get on the field.
Well, let's meet Jelani. He's standing by with our Tarek Fatal.
Jelani Davis, listen, the last 2 times Mater Dei's played St. John Bosco, the Braves have been. Do you take those 2 losses personally? Don't get fired up now, but clearly those are not losses you want.
No, absolutely. Nobody likes to lose, especially to your arch rivals. So, we definitely take it very personal, and that's why we go back to the playbook, go back to the drawing board, fix our mistakes, and correct what we could correct. And Coach Frank is real imperative on preparation and even preparing for the unexpected. So we're just going into this Friday night thinking about all the things we have to execute on, all the plays that we missed, and just playing loose and having fun.
Having fun, playing loose. I think that's a very specific and important element to high school sports, or any sport, any level. I think fun gets lost. How important is that to maybe going into the final? As serious as it is, how important is fun?
Well, personally, it's my last year of high school football,
Okay.
So I don't know anything other than to go all out with my boys. And what's a better way to do it than against your rivals in the Coliseum? Potentially last game of the year, but we're not looking at it that way. We're looking at it just another game on the playbook, on the schedule, and we just got to go handle business.
Last one. What's the thing you've improved the most on personally as a player this year?
I would say leadership, 100%. I've always been a leader, but I've never wanted to accept that leadership role. I never really like being in the limelight. I like to just make my plays, handle my business, and just do what I have to do to help the team. But this season, I really noticed that we needed a leader to step up, and I assumed the position as much as I could on defense.
Congratulations to you. Hopefully you can lead the Monarchs to a CIF championship.
With apologies to Jelani, it's not just the next game. It's not just another game. It's Mater Dei against St. John Bosco. It'll be fun at the Coliseum. The Servite Friars, out of a very competitive Trinity League. Not a lot of people felt they'd get to the Division II final, but some did, and certainly they did, and that's the most important thing. And we have their head coach in his first year, Chris Reinert, with us as he gets ready for Mission Viejo. Coach, congratulations on getting to the championship game.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, you're 1-4 in the Trinity League, which is certainly no disgrace. It's the best league in the country. After the season ended and you knew you were going to D2, could you envision that you would get to the final?
Absolutely. I think that was the goal from the very beginning, was to continue to play. And I told the team from the very beginning, the goal was to be able to practice on Thanksgiving. If you can practice on Thanksgiving, you've accomplished something really special, and we get to do that.
What makes the Friars a championship quality squad?
The young men I get to lead every day. The brotherhood at Servite is real. The bonds are real. The team has done a tremendous job buying into what we're teaching, buying into the messages that we are giving, and we've consistently ascended throughout the entirety of the season, and that's really exciting.
It's not supposed to be this easy for a rookie coach to get to the finals, right?
There's nothing about this that's been easy at all.
Tarek? It wasn't easy for the Friars, but most importantly, they're here.
We're going to talk about it. Thomas Cernius, the defensive end, a junior, 9.5 sacks this year. Before we get to this season, talk about the turnaround. Yes, a 1-win season last year. You guys are in the CIF final this year. Talk about what you think are some of the key differences this year.
I think this year there's a lot of leadership coming from all parts of the team. From the youth, from the freshmen, sophomores. We have a lot of underclassmen starting on varsity, and everyone has played their role and believed in each other, and that brotherhood has definitely helped us advance to where we are now.
Is there a point in this season you can pinpoint where you think, even if it might have been a loss, but you knew you guys could do something special? Was there a game this year where you thought, wait a minute, we could put something together here, and now here you are?
Yeah, I think that happened very early on. We played Rancho Cucamonga, and the game the year before was not as close, and this year, we were right there until one of the final plays, and I think with all the youth we have, it's definitely like everyone believes how much we can compete.
Last question for me. Servite, what is their biggest strength?
The biggest strength is definitely the brotherhood that we have, because we have guys in every class, multiple freshmen starting on our defense, that we all communicate and we all know how each other play. We can play off of each other. That's definitely been our biggest strength.
Randy, it's the Friars versus the Diablos on Friday night.
Should be a good one. What's impressive about this team from Servite, not an easy road. There's no question. If you look at from top to bottom, D2 was the best division, and they're in the championship game, and it's well deserved. Congratulations to the Friars. We'll see how they do against the Diablos. You know what's great about pro football? They give back to the community. And in the NFL and in Los Angeles, the Chargers do just that. And their general manager joins us now, Tom Tedesco. I know, Tom, you're part of the CIF Southern Section Luncheon today, and you're proud that the Chargers are involved.
Yeah, I think it's really important for the teams, the NFL teams in the cities they reside, to be connected with high school football. So a lot of the work that we do, whether it's the Coach of the Week, whether it's OC All-Star Game, whether it's this event, and then the Rams do a ton of the same things with their Coach of the Week. I think it's important for us to be connected with this community. This is what we do for a living. We work in football, so this is great to be a part of this.
I know you're passionate about football for multiple reasons. Obviously, your Chargers are trying to do well at the highest level. But your kids are playing in the Southern Section, and Corona Del Mar, who they play for, is in the finals. Talk about, as a man who's in the NFL, watching his kids play at the highest level of high school football.
Well, I'm incredibly lucky and just really proud of the program at CDM and what they do, and it's just so lucky that we can be a part of it. When you're a parent, when your kids grow up, you don't know what they're going to like, what they're going to want to do. So to have two boys to play in this program, my oldest son's a senior here. He's here representing the school. As a parent, couldn't be more proud. But like I said, it's just a great school, great education, and it's just a great event overall.
This is the Southern section, and I know this week there was a breakfast at Birmingham High School for the city section, and the Chargers helped out there as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, LA's a big area to cover. You got Orange County, LA, we got the Inland Empire. So many good high schools here. The talent level is incredible. Like, I know football all the way across the country. It's no better than in this area. And then the coaching is great. So you put those two things together, it's just a great for high school football.
Tom, thanks for helping us out.
And Tom, thanks for having me.
You got it. That's Tom Tedesco, the general manager of the Chargers. He has a little bit at stake here. I think he's probably rooting for Corona Del Mar. Time to talk about the LA City Section Championships. Got to start in the Open Division. Birmingham's won 41 straight games against LA City Section opponents. They've won the Open 3 consecutive times. They get Garfield in a rematch. Garfield's won 11 straight games and actually has the better record here, Tarek.
I don't know how much that matters, Randy. I'll be honest with you. I just don't see anybody being Birmingham in the city. They haven't lost. I mean, it's 39 games or 38 games straight in the city or something
41.
like that. There you go. 41 straight games in the city they've won. I don't see that happening. I don't see anything different happening on Saturday. I think Jim Rose is going to have a girls flag football ring and an Open Division title ring as well.
And he has Peyton Waters, who's the odds-on favorite. Tarek's been on this all season long. Peyton Waters to go back-to-back as the City Player of the Year. Last time that's happened, Milton Knox at Birmingham. Why not? All right, in the next game, the Division I game, number 1 Banning versus Crenshaw, the number 3 seed. I think that surprised you that the Shaw got to the finals.
It did. I did pick them in the semifinals because I had been picking against them all year.
Right.
So I thought, okay, let me give them a bone here. They absolutely scored a lot of points, and I think we're going to see a little bit of different contrasting game styles in that final. Banning's a little more kind of like a Big Ten football team, bruising football. They'll pound the rock, and then Crenshaw athletes get out in space. Really curious to see who wins out. I think I might give the edge to Banning, though.
Yeah, and Banning beat Dimely, and I know you had been high on Dimely all year, and Dimely had a great year.
Great year.
All right, let's check out the next division, which is Division II. Number 9, Fairfax. They have a great quarterback in Ivan Levant. Every week we see him on our board as a star performance. He's been great this year, and he's propelled his Lions into the finals against Chatsworth and Isaiah Rameau, who's a wonderful running back. Rameau has 21 touchdowns this season.
Yeah, what an interesting game that'll be, right? One team that likes to air it out, one team that likes to throw it. I think that's kind of fun when you look at these finals, 2 contrasting game styles.
Final one we want to look at in the city side is Jordan, the number 4 seed in D3, the Bulldogs against Washington, who's only 5-8, but they are the 2 seed.
Again, when we talk about these city finals, you just never know what's going to happen. All the records beforehand go out the window. Common opponents, it doesn't matter. It's one game, one day.
Let's turn our attention to the history that was made in the city with flag football. 2 championship games, and they were both on LA 36. In the D1 game, Sylmar, the number 5 seed, and Verdugo Hills, the number 10 seed. Verdugo won it. They raced out to a 29-0 lead. Sylmar battled back, scored 20 unanswered, but it wasn't enough. And it was the Dons that won the title.
Got to give Sylmar some credit for making it a game, like you said, going down so big and making it a game at the end, but Verdugo Hills comes away with the championship.
Dons, their wide receivers, Emily Wagner, she was great. So was Brink on the other side, Lauren Brink, phenomenal player. And the last one, certainly not least, you mentioned Jim Rose getting the ring at Birmingham. He did. Wasn't easy. San Pedro struck first. Reagan's caught a long touchdown pass, but it wasn't enough. Birmingham rallied back and wins the game 14-6.
Jim Rose, anything he does in the city is almost like gold. He just knows how to win championships. He takes his hand at girls flag football while he's coaching the football team, and they win a city title there. He might win the other one on Saturday.
And for Jim Rose, probably the greatest moment of winning the flag football championship. His daughter, Jessica, was one of the star players and was instrumental in the win last week in the championship game. Jessica got a ring, and he was thrilled about that.
Yeah, great softball player and obviously a good father-daughter moment.
I didn't realize that Tarek Fatal had that kind of arm. Where's that football? I think they took it away.
I threw it too hard. It's gone.
Your arm was so strong. You have a good arm.
You know, I had my days.
Enjoy the championships. They're going to be great games in the Southern section, great games in the city. For Tarek, I'm Randy. We'll see you next time on LA 36. And by the way, we want to thank the good people here at the Grand Hotel. We had a marvelous time, a tremendous lunch. They fed us well. The media always likes to eat.
Well, how about getting GM of the Chargers, Tom Telesco, on to talk about how great it is to give back to the high school football realm?
Tom, of course, is invested. His 2 kids are at Corona Del Mar. We thank everyone here today. We'll see you next time on LA 36. Good night, everybody. What are you doing?
Hyping up the arm too much.
No, your arm
it was underhand.
No, it was good. You got the strong arm.
I should have.
I never knew you had that
I'll get a
athletic
real toss
ability.
on